what she was trying to do. We sat down and she explained and told me her story. And immediately I said, yes, I'm in.
Immediately.
How can I be a part of that?
Wow.
Because you have to understand that everybody on the team is very, very passionate about what we do.
Amen.
And where we come from. We're used to making something out of nothing.
Yes.
So like
right.
my motto was for Dillon County, I wanted everybody who wanted a job to have one.
That's right.
Okay?
Hey man, you know what?
Because I know what it's like not to have a job.
Hey man,
Right.
but as a matter of fact, not to toot your horn, but explain how. I mean, like with when you was in office, explain how you really helped that happen for Dillon.
Well, the thing about it was this, and excuse me if I get a little passionate.
Man, get passionate.
Because
Get
I want
passionate.
to really help the
Passion.
viewers understand
Facebook,
exactly where I'm coming from. Where the Facebook viewers, I want you to understand exactly where I'm coming from and understand that I am really a real person with real feelings. Okay,
I know.
It's really not about the title of Economic Development Director. It's very personal for me, and it started with my late mother. Okay, I was working in Augusta, Georgia for Huggies, for Kimberly Clark Corporation. And I used to come back and forth to Dillon, and I didn't see anything happening. So I said to my mother, I said, Ma, somebody should do something about this. I mean, it's nothing going on. There's no jobs. It's no, we have very few restaurants. Somebody should do something. And she looked at me and smiled and said, yes, somebody should do something. And I said, no, Ma, I'm not the guy that's in politics. Like, I don't do that. Like, I'm an engineer. That's what I do. But the thing about it was this. It's a lot of people that talk and say a lot of things and, oh, yeah, I'm for jobs. And they may even give you a great meal. You may have chicken bog and some good old barbecue.
Hey.
But after that meal and they get in office, they do not represent your best interest.
Message!
So this is what I'm saying.
Message!
So this is what I'm saying, and I'll say the same message today because I want people to understand where we were and where we are now.
Go ahead, man.
When I took office, nobody wanted the position of economic development in Dillon County. Why? We were at 21% unemployment.
Amen.
Okay?
Right.
There were no jobs in Dillon County. You could not find a job. It was, a matter of fact, it was very hard to go and rake somebody's yard.
That's
Amen.
right.
Okay? So imagine starting at 21% unemployment, and they talked about our school system, corridor of shame, right? So you got all this negative stuff, and the kids really felt like what they were told is that if you want to find a job, you're going to have to move away from Dillon and maybe go 2 or 3 states away to find a job. So my thing was, going back to what I said, everybody that wants a job to have one, and I saw, some of the folks that were running their office and saying this and saying that. But my same question still stands today as I go out on this new venture. I simply asked them, where were you? If you know so much about economic development, if you bring so many jobs to the community, where were you when we were at 21% unemployment?
Right.
Where were you?
They was talking.
Where were you when I was a kid, when I was a young college engineering student trying to find a job? Okay, where were you? Where were the plants then? Where were all the jobs then? So my thing was, if someone doesn't give you an opportunity, you create the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So what I decided to do was jump in, and actually what happened was I met a person, a mutual friend, through the plant manager at Kimberly Clark. This guy invited me to lunch in Columbia, and so we had lunch, and he was inviting me pretty much every week. Long story short, this person happened to be, turns out this person was the Secretary of Commerce.
Wow.
The state of South Carolina.
Wow.
He introduced me to the governor, Governor Sanford, and later I got introduced to Governor Nikki Haley. So she began to know me on a daily basis. And so as I began to meet with them, they were giving me tests. Like psychologists were coming in and, they were giving me like psychological tests, like look at the picture and tell me what you think. There's no right or wrong answers.
It's a go.
Yeah, like that type of stuff. So long story short, they made me an offer of economic development director for Dillon County. They made a recommendation, and then Dillon County accepted their recommendation. So I started the position of economic development That was in 2010. So 8 years later, I brought $500 million.
Hey,
500 million.
Dillon, South Carolina.
500 million with the M. And 2,500 new jobs.
25.
So the unemployment rate went from 21% to 5%.
Boy, you go ahead. Now that's a doer. That's a doer.
The other thing,
doers on my team.
The other thing that happened, one of the milestones that happened for us, and I'll just name a few. Number one, I was instrumental in recruiting and bringing the inland port. Now that's a port, just like the port.
Now that's good money
without water. But listen to this. Listen to this. Most folks from Dillon do not understand the impact of that inland port. It's a $50 billion impact on the state and local economy. That's with a B. Okay, so everything.
I'm moving back.
It's a direct connection. It's a direct connection from China to Dillon, from any other country to Dillon, because that's imports and exports. Yep. What we did not realize in Dillon is we didn't realize our own potential. So here's what I mean by that. We got 2 Class 1 rails. What does that mean? That's the interstate of rail. Amtrak stops twice a day, every day in Dillon. Mm-hmm. So when you ship anything on rail, it's 4 to 5 times more efficient than shipping by truck. What do I mean by that? If you take 1 gallon of gas and travel with the truck, you can go 5 times as far on that 1 gallon of gas on a train. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? That means that affects the bottom line. Okay, we have a low cost of living. How much so? Okay, for every dollar you make, you spend 60 cents in Dillon today in this economy. If you go to California, for every dollar you make, you spend maybe $3 or $4. Same thing in New York. We know that it's more expensive to live there, right? It's not very expensive to live in Dillon. Mm-hmm. So my point is, lower cost of living equates to a lower cost of doing business. That means higher profit margins for any industry. Now we have, all the infrastructure in place. We have 4 exits off of Interstate 95.
Somebody said, "Who is that?"
We have, and I just want to let the folks know.
He's in Dillon, yo.
I just want the folks to know what we created while I was in office was 8 industrial parks. Okay, that's an area set up with infrastructure, with the industrial buildings set up for companies actually to come in. We have a mega site in Dillon that's 3,400 acres with infrastructure in place. Now, here's what's going on currently and what was going on before I left office. We got projects out there, a project like Jaguar and Land Rover, who's looking for a home, who's looking for a manufacturing facility. A lot of folks don't understand this, but Mercedes-Benz, okay, in 2019, will be constructing a full-size pickup truck, a Mercedes full-size pickup truck. It's called the X Series. Guess what they were looking at? And guess what they're still looking at?
Dillon, South Carolina.
Dillon, South Carolina. So what I'm saying to you is we have all of the components of a large city. We have a port. We have exits off of Interstate 95, interstate access. We have proximity to international airports. If you look at where Dillon is, it's 2.5 hours away from Charlotte, right? Mm-hmm. It's 2.5 hours away from Greensboro, hour and a half away from Wilmington, 2.5 hours away from Charleston. So in each direction, it's a centralized location and ideal for distribution. Yep. Yep. So what I bring to the table, to answer your question, is not only the grant writing aspect of it, but also when we do fundraisers. We've done several. We have some that's coming up. We're doing conversational French and Spanish for 4K to adult. Imagine that. Imagine a little kid speaking French, Spanish.
Parlez-vous français?
Yes. And so it's $40. It's $40 for a 2 weeks class. And it's $60 for a 3-week class. So I would encourage anybody on Facebook, sign your kids up. I'm definitely going to sign my 2 daughters up for it, who's ages 6 and 13.
And I'm signing my grandkids up.
So please, we're going to do it at the library twice a week. And I would encourage the adults too, if you actually have some workers that work for you that are Hispanic, or if you have someone, we're going to be doing sign language as well, that may have, hearing impairment. You want to learn more to be able to communicate with them. Please sign up for the class. You can go to Bicyclist Building Bridges website. We have a sign-up sheet. We do have certified teachers. We even have a Chinese instructor that will be able to teach the folks Chinese. So we got it is this. The reason why Chinese is so important and to be able to understand more about that, we have, a lot of Chinese investors, at least 2 new companies. One is a biomedical facility in the Newtown area, the cold storage facility. They actually take and extract the liquid from Smithfield, and the Chinese own Smithfield, by the way, and they convert it into things like Viagra, steroids, the eyeliner that women use. It's 19 other different products for medical purposes, and that's just one company. We brought $15 million and 200 jobs down to the town of Lakeview. Hydroponics, which is growing.
To Lakeview?
To Lakeview.
Lakeview getting on the map.
And they also have a 60-acre solar farm down in Lakeview as well. So what I'm saying to you is, the team is real strong. And I just want to say really quick, I know we're running short on time.
Yeah, I want to say something.
We're running short on time, but a lot of folks were asking me after I resigned from Dillon County, like, what are you doing? I want them to know that I'm still in economic development on a nonprofit side. Community workforce development and community economic development are my nonprofits. And I also work as an economic development director in collaboration with Bicyclists Building Bridges.
Wow.
So, the thing is this. You're going to see more restaurants. You're still going to see companies coming in. And I'm still going to be working to recruit jobs. And
you on the private side.
On the private side for myself. But this is what I will say. Community economic development is not the county. We are not the city, but we are the community. And we represent you each and every single time. So I want you to know that I'm still here. I'm still passionate. I'm still in the trenches. I'm still working. I will not stop until every single person that wants a job has a job. And I apologize, for being, a little bit passionate. But that's
man,
that's
do you? Listen, hey, like just
put
the camera right here.
Black people
I know he probably don't want this Dillon County, but your next mayor is sitting in this building right here.
And then somebody's gonna make.
Because if we want to change, he's not talking about change. He's doing change, and as you see that. Hey, and brother, I'm proud. You made me. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about it, the thing about it is this. The thing about it is this. You have a lot of folks that's running that say, "Yeah, I'm for jobs," but I understand how to get the job.
Amen.
How to
we
make
need
it
more
work.
jobs like that.
And the thing about it is,
thank God for your mama because she brought this to your table.
Exactly. You have to look at results. Forget about talking about it. You have to look at results.
Thank you.
And if you believe in what has been done, you like what's been done the past 8 years, I accept what you're saying. Vote for Tonny McNeil.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Vote for him.
Vote for Tonny, baby.
Vote for McNeil for me.
Going after that map.
You heard it first on the Sugar Podcast.
That's the way we're going to do it. That's the way we're going to do it.
The Sugar Podcast.
Okay.